Hi, I hope you all are doing grand. Today we will be talking about the input function, if else statements, and for loop, and various conditions that are for the booleans in the Python. We will start with the input function. Input function is used when we have to collect information from the customer using the code. To start with the input function, we have to assign a variable x, and then we have to write input. Here, a command prompt open up. In the command prompt, you have to write the question or whatsoever you are asking from the customer. So in this case, I'm asking for age. I will be writing what is your age. Now when we run the code, we see that what is your age? The string is being asked. I will write this thing and that's it. It gets stored in the variable x as the information in the form of a string. Now, in order to see the x variable, I have to use the print function. Now, when I write 24, 24 gets printed. We can have the better representation of the string by writing it like this, 24. And then when we execute the code, uh, comma, x. So in the print function, we have put x separately because it's a variable and not a string. Now, when we run the code, your age is 24. This is the way we generally use the input function. After that, we will be checking for the conditions of Boolean in Python, and for that we need to understand certain symbols. So this represents equal to symbol. This represents not equal to. This represents greater than equal to, and this represents less than equal to. This will represent greater than, and this will represent less than. Now, in order to check for the Boolean values, we have to assign a variable, let's suppose x, a certain value, which we will be taking as 30. Now, we will be testing, and for testing, we will be using the print function so that we can see what pops up in the Python framework. For that, we will be starting with print x is equal to 30, print x not equal to 30, print x greater than equal to 30, print x less than equal to 30, print x greater than 30, and finally print x less than 30. Here we get the booleans. So x is greater than equal to, it means x is greater or x is equal to. Okay, less than equal to is less or it's equal. Okay, now we will be testing for the multiple conditions. In order to test for the multiple conditions, we will be using and, or, and not function. Okay, and is when both or many statements altogether have to be true, and or is any one of the statement can be true. Okay, so let's suppose we start with two variable x, which we take it as 13, and y, which we take it as 34. Now, in order to check, we will be writing x is equal to 13, x is equal to 13, and y is equal to 34. Then we will be testing for x is equal to 13 and y not equal to 34. We will be using the print function in order to see the output on the Python framework. Always remember, in and both the side have to be true, or all the statements have to be true, otherwise it will turn out to be a false statement. Okay, now we will be copy pasting it and replacing the and with the or. Okay, in or either of the conditions can be true. Either of the conditions can be true, right? So now when we test for it, you'll see that all the statements in this case will be true because one condition is being satisfied. Now we will be doing it for not. Okay, now when we run the code, we see that in and both the conditions have to be same or equal or true. Okay, so here since y is equal to 34, this statement is false and this is true. Hence, and we have not, right? So it's like y is not equal to 34 is false already, and that is true because y is equal to 34 and x is equal to 13. That's why we get true here. In or condition, either of the two cases, any one of that turns out to be true, we will put true. Okay, now we will be starting with the if else statements. The if else statements are multiple condition statements. So it generally starts with if, then it starts with continues if there are many criterias, elif, and finally it will end with the else. Okay, so we assign a variable x is equal to 30. Input, let's say that this is a, let's create a game. This is a riding game in the park. Everyone in the park have to pay a fee to take a ride, and there is an age limit that is involved. So a person of a certain age or can only enjoy that ride, right? So let's suppose we write the input function age is equal to input what is your age. Then since age is being converted into a string, we have to convert it back into input. So we will be writing it as age in age. This is how we will be converting it back into a integer value. Now we will be writing it as if age less than equal to 5, then print. You see, it automatically creates the indentations on its own. Print you are not eligible to write. Elif age greater than 5, and since we require both the sides to be true, age less than equal to 25. Let's take it 21. Print you are eligible to write. Else print you are not eligible to write. As you Let's modify the first criteria by writing that as you are underage. See, all the conditions are being met. Whenever you write the age here, it will automatically, according to the conditions, assign a certain value to it. Now we will move to the for loop. It is first of the loop. Loop is a form of repetitions that happen within the code. So whenever I say for loop, so when you have to extract elements out of a certain list, dictionaries, or set or a tuple, we use the for loop function. Okay, let's start this by creating a numerical list and assigning it a variable list underscore 1 is equal to 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5, comma 6, comma 7, comma 8, comma 9, comma 0. Here we will be writing, first we will do the Boolean test, 1 in list underscore 1. We will use a print function in order to see the outcome on the Python framework. We see that the answer here is true. It means that 1 is present in the list. For, now we will be using the for loop function. F is always capital. I'm sorry, for. So F is lowercase, not capital. My mistake. For. Let's assign a certain variable. Let's take this variable as Q in list underscore 1 print Q. You see all the elements get printed in one column and many rows, right? You can also modify this by making it to the power of a certain string in order to create a certain pattern out of it. Sorry, I made a mistake by putting this in as exponential, whereas this could easily be multiplied, right? So now I have to, you see, since the for loop operates like this. First, it will check in list 1 all the single elements. Then it will first print the first element. Then it will be first element multiplied by x. That is 1. Then comes x. Then it will go to the second element. Second element is 2. It will first print the number 2 here. And then it will be 2 times x, which is equal to xx. That's how the loop will continue in a particular pattern. You can also use the range function in the for loop by directly producing the output for, then we assign a certain variable. Let's say in this case w in range, a particular range 0 comma 10. Let's say double in what print w. In the range 0 to 10, all the elements are being produced. So this is not the 10th element would be 9. Okay, all the code to the current video is available on my GitHub page. Thanks. Have a great day.